I gotta tell you, the most significant memory I have of you playing music was that Bernie Sanders rally.
Yeah, for sure. That was pretty cool. That came up. That was a really, I don't know if you know the backstory about that, but man, that was a crazy gig that I got the opportunity to play. Like it came out of nowhere, and to do that was really, really neat. I, my boss at work saw me on CNN that morning before I came in, which was probably only a once in a lifetime thing.
Uh, what is the backstory? How did you land that gig?
So we were the Teagan and the Tweeds and I were playing a gig at I honestly can't remember right now, somewhere around town. And when we were done, we had some friends that were playing over at Johnny's Irish Pub. Actually, it was Pete Griffith, who I think is gonna be on Groovecast, or is he on Groovecast next? Pete Griffith. I thought I
Yeah,
saw that.
I'm actually talking to him on Wednesday, so that episode will be out next week.
Awesome. So yeah, Pete Griffith and Dirty Bourbon were playing at Johnny's, and so we went down to catch the end of their show. And when we got there, he asked me to get up and sing a song with him. So I sang "Little by Little," a blues tune, and it was really fun. My keyboard player Katie got up and jammed too. And then the next day, I woke up and I had this inquiry, I think on Facebook. I can't remember if where it came in, but I think it was Facebook Messenger or something. And it was like, "Hey, I was at the bar last night. I heard you sing. I'd like to ask you to play for the Bernie Sanders rally that's in like a day." It was like the next day, and I was at 9 o'clock. He was like, "So if you're into it and you say yes, I need to get you cleared by Interpol and all these other things." And I was like, okay. Yeah, absolutely. So I kind of smelled fish. I wasn't really sure if it was true, but I went for it. I gave him all my info. He cleared me. And the next morning at 9 a.m., I showed up and I played in front of a ton of people in national television on every news outlet that you could imagine. And it was pretty wild. Yeah.
No,
But
that's incredible. I just saw you at a bar the other night. Will you come play at this massive rally? How does that happen?
right, I guess so. This guy's job in the campaign was literally to go to whichever city they were going to be at next and scout out like where he thought the campaign might want to eat, where they thought they might want to go for a drink, and who locally might be able to help them out for the rally. So that was also kind of neat to know that there was like a team of people that were actually trying to sink into the local scene and not just like, come in, do their rally and leave. Like they were really trying to get everybody involved. So that's something I appreciated, no matter what your politics are.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's amazing for anyone that wasn't at the rally or doesn't know much about it here in Rochester, New York. We had a lot of politicians visit, and Bernie Sanders, that was like a rock and roll show. That was like, there's a lot of people there. That was cool. And I'm trying to remember, did you just play solo guitar or did you have accompaniment?
I did. I played solo guitar up on this like very high stage. There's a picture on my Facebook of like, I don't even know how many people were there. I think at least hundreds, if not maybe over 1,000. I'm not positive, honestly, but they had this giant American flag in the background, and there's like this tiny little Teagan like up in this giant sea of people with the American flag in the background. And it was like, I can't even believe that it happened. Really. It was really neat.
That's super cool. It's super
Yeah.
cool. What does it feel like being up there? Is that the largest audience you've done? And s-
So that's definitely not the largest audience, but that was the highest pressure because there
mm,
is a media box in front of you with, I don't even know. I mean, probably over 30 reporters with cameras. And at that point, I didn't even know where I was being broadcasted. Like, I just knew it was all over the place. So that was intimidating. And definitely like, what do you play at a Bernie Sanders rally? Like, I feel like I should have learned like "This Land Is Your Land" or something like that, like something patriotic. I don't sing a lot of patriotic music. So I just try to play it safe and play like I actually played some original music that I have about like traveling the US, and some other tunes. But the biggest venue or biggest audience I would say we played for, we've definitely played Rochester Party in the Park several times, but one of the first times we played, we opened directly for Eddie Money, and I believe there was 5,000 plus there that night. So that was it was a gorgeous night, and it just, everything happened to click. The weather was perfect, and a ton of people showed up, and that was one of the times where you stand on stage, you get out there and you're like, oh, you didn't even know I don't really get nervous, but you get nervous when that volume of people is in front of you. So the Fleetwood Mac project that I'm in is called the Seven Wonders. It's fairly new. I want to say it's like two years now we've been playing music together, the band. It started at Three Heads Brewery, which is, it's really kind of become the heartbeat for a lot of people of the Rochester music scene.
Absolutely.
And such a great place and advocate for all of us to do our thing. So I love those guys. I can't ever say enough about them. But they do, as you know, and I don't know if anybody listening doesn't know, but they do a residency every month. So they give one local musician the stage every Thursday for 1 month, and you are challenged to usually do a different theme every week. One of the challenges is usually play an album in its entirety that has influenced you or that you really dig, or, you know, or just an album you want to play. And my friend Charlie Lidner was the resident 2 Februarys ago. So I think that would have been February 2019. And I think the story is he wasn't sure which album he wanted to play. And so he was kind of brainstorming with Jeff Dale, and Jeff Dale was like, dude, you should play Rumors, Fleetwood Mac Rumors, and you should totally get a hold of Teagan, because I bet you she'd sing Stevie for you. And so he got a hold of me, and then he asked me if I knew anybody that would sing Christine McVie. And of course, I have my right-hand lady, Katie Wright, that I've always played music with, and I know she can cover all those parts. We've actually talked about playing Rumors in its entirety before for years. So she rose to the occasion, and then he got Matt Rammerman on drums, Kyle Vach on bass, and John Sheffer on guitar, who's a great friend of mine and absolutely unbelievable guitar player. And then we brought in Matt Stevens to sing the Lindsey Buckingham parts and play a lot of the rhythm guitar parts. And it is such a fun band to play with. Like I've never really been, I've never felt a need to be in a cover band. I mean, the Tweeds definitely does their fair share of covers just to exist in the city, and, you know, but we kind of split our night between covers and original. But the Fleetwood Mac band, it's like a totally different thing. It's like liberating playing somebody else's music on stage. You get to channel them and kind of set yourself aside for a minute. And all the people that I get to play with in that band are people that I've known for years and haven't necessarily gotten to share a stage with for an entire night. And it's just really nice to see a whole different set of energy come together like that. And we all love it when we all get off stage and we're like, oh my gosh, this is incredible. We got to keep doing this. So.
No, it's amazing. You guys do a great job. And I want to touch a little bit more on collabs in a second, but I'm first curious, when you're in a cover band like that, singing music from, you know, Fleetwood Mac, a singer-songwriter like Stevie Nicks, how do you take on that challenge? Do you guys make it your own a little bit, or are you more focused on trying to master it the way they would do it? And, you know, how do you take on those kind of challenges?
That's a really good question, because I feel like that's something that comes up a lot. I think for us, we lean more on the let's take this music and embrace it and play it as we would. And then at the same time, we pay homage to it. Like, we don't want to stray too far from it, but we like to take the liberties that maybe the band would have maybe taken. For me, like, I don't play a straight Stevie. I try to, I mean, I still whip my hair back and forth and try to, you know, put a little bit of my own twist on it just to feel the energy of the crowd. I mean, so it's a loaded question because it's something we're always discussing. I think it's whether or not to play this as is. You don't want people to criticize you for going too far off the book. But then at the same time, you want to bring them, you want to pour all your energy into it the way you would like to at the same time. So it's a nice marriage between both. I think we've gotten a really good response from everybody. Nobody's ever come up to us and said, "Oh my God, you played this totally different than them." I mean, you would definitely recognize every song. All the harmonies are usually spot on. And it's just maybe the stage setup and the energy might just be a little bit higher, I think, than, well, I don't know. I guess it depends on what era Fleetwood Mac you're talking about, right?